map they lost against Ruby.
I mean, Fred, I've got a really interesting stat for you. I really wanted to say on the desk with Ted, but I think we're a little too quick to jump in the game. I wanted to save it, but I saved it for too long, I think. This is statistically the best we've ever seen Zero Tenacity right now. In terms of world rankings, this should be their peak that we've ever seen this team. So this maybe could be a difference. Really great aggressive play again there from Kyofo. The aggression has worked out, but if Kyofo needs one more to make it work, and it is. Cello all alone.
Yeah, needs to retrieve the bomb, trying to isolate the fights. Will tuck himself away towards tunnels, but it's tough here. You know, Ted was kind of talking to us before the game went live, and Dust 2, the only reason Furia has so much struggles is because their kind of hero, Serato, probably one of the best players, you know, arguably one of, you know, competing for, at times, one of the best players in the world. He only had 8 kills on the whole of Dust, but nice early pistol here for Zero Tenacity, primed up by Namana's double while blind.
I mean, Fred, this feels still like a crazy enough statement that I don't think we mentioned enough, really. Serato, he's been in the top 20 players the last 4 years.
Yeah.
He should be one of these guys, absolutely, just absolutely ripping apart some of these teams. But yeah, especially here in the CCT, it feels like he's struggling a bit. Maybe it is some of these teams having a bit more of a unique play style, and he's sort of maybe getting caught out by Furia. Aren't the only ones now who have this sort of gimmicky play style, but it feels like Furia have gone away from that sort of mad aggressive play style a little while ago now, especially with the removal of art.
Simka though, nice 4k there, gets through with the MP9, Brute Monster finds as well. I wonder if we're going to see an upgrade here. Zero Tenacity, I think they realise they've got an opportunity to take things 2-0, and a 2-0 against Furia, that's a statement that I think a lot of teams will be looking at and kind of pondering, how's that even been possible? But the fact that Dust 2, it's a map with many unknowns for this Furia side. It's clear that they've shown weakness on it against Ruby. If Zero Tenacity take map 1, is it safe to say ZT 2-0 if maybe we've kind of counted them out too early?
Oh, I think how Zero Tenacity are playing, I don't think you can ever count them out. Very recently, the way they have been performing, I think it'd be really unfair to them to say there's no chance they can take it. I think Furia, they are the clear favourites, but we've had a ton of upsets here already.
Oh look, we've been wrong so many times.
Oh, we've been wrong more often than I think we've done predictions, and that's how wrong we've been.
Yeah.
So, yeah, why not? Zero Tenacity. I think they do have a chance to take it, and I definitely don't think it's particularly that unfavoured.
Something to mention though in this round, obviously with it being the full investment, Furia have opted for weaponry over utility, and in doing so, only 7 pieces remaining and very little control taken. We are going to be seeing a flash coming over, Serato blinded, but Simka backs away. I think it's the right decision, but Kie finding Brute Monster early here towards short. AVN's in a nice position, and if Kyofo can just do enough to take some attention away, Zero Tenacity still got a chance in this round. We mentioned this limited utility, and Furia look to be sending it out now. Bit of a pop, and Cello's dropping into CT. He's taking control here. It is, in fact, going to be this B-split with the smokes down to both sides of CT. Cello a little bit isolated by his own team's utility, but now they look to break into the bomb site. Fallen potentially going to be heading in first with Namana on the back of the bomb site, but Cello's double. Serato finds AVN all that remains, and potentially, this is showing signs of things to come. Furia, first weaponry investment, and although we do see AVN find one, it looked a pretty flawless round when it came to the site take.
Yeah, I mean, this is what it feels like we've been lacking from Furia as of late. That was your sort of typical Dust 2 mid to B, done very cleanly. Haven't really seen too many teams actually attempt the sort of drop down towards CT. I think the last time I've seen it was Furia. But that time against Ruby, it looked very sort of not well organised. It didn't look brilliant. It didn't look great. It feels like something that they remember doing years ago, and like, yeah, we'll do it again.
See
this
if it
time,
works.
yeah, a lot better. It feels like they've been maybe sort of working a bit more on their dust, because I've liked what I saw there. Yuri does get taken down. AVN will be able to survive, and with that weapon being kept in this one, we will see the reinvestment. I'll imagine I'll be surprised if we don't from Zero Tenacity.
I'm loving it
already. Another go at things.
I'm loving it, Charlie. We got an AWP on Brute Monster already. I think that's going to be a key part for Zero Tenacity's success, but Brute Monster's not got an easy opponent to face. Probably one of the most decorated AWPers of our time.
Of all time, really, yeah. I definitely think it's going to be an interesting AWP duel between the two players. The veteran of Fallen, not really the same player he once was, but still can have those maps, those games. Versus the younger AWPer. Not ridiculously young, but still like 22 years of age of Brute Monster. I think I'm excited about that one once both teams do have their star man on the big green.
Isn't that crazy to think? You know, 22 is not a young player anymore. I think that's just how good the talent has become.
I think it's how young the talent's become, really.
I think when you look at the Monacies and the Donks of the world, they kind of just made everyone feel so old.
I mean, we're regularly casting sort of people who are, I look at them, 15 years old. How are you this good at 15? Well, Brute Monster's all not really hitting its shots yet. Oh, Namana getting the kill onto Fallen might encourage Zero Tenacity to have a bit more of a look in, but I still think a save should be the right call here. Maybe not anymore if Simca finding that.
Yeah, they're going to get drawn in. The problem is, the setup from Furia is good. Bit of a double ramp awaiting Keserato to take that contact. Still an HE grenade on Kai. And it will be Cello finding one. Keserato needing to secure the trade, but Kai again. Ooh, brought down to a one-on-one. Think there is a kit to be retrieved, and that's why Simca's dropped towards CT. Kai trying to delay, and Kai will find. Good start here for the newest addition to Furia. I feel like we talk about it quite frequently. When you have this kind of reintroduction of a new player, there's always these teething issues. There's always kind of these problems where you're trying to fit into the system. But it's a nice clutch from Kai. It keeps things moving here for Furia. But Zero Tenacity, they bring things close. Sadly, no clutch confirmed, so it will just be the half buy here and another investment with the AWP Sade for Fallen. Can be seeing something a little bit aggressive, but plenty of CTs towards middle. Ooh, Fallen. Spotted plenty on the grass. They're going to head out towards A now, surely. He spotted 4 players.
Yeah, that's a really important round for a player like Kaiser. Being able to find a couple of kills. You've been someone who has been quite heavily criticised since being promoted to the main Furia roster. And I think just a round like that can be really big for the young guys' confidence. And Yuri with a 5-man spray down. Very clean stuff. Very well managed.
He got the smile on his face. Clear to see why.
It's not surprising. It's not surprising. Going to be a big one for confidence. Obviously, both teams sort of playing on land here.
Yeah, boot camping, I believe. I think something to mention. I feel like in those moments, you either get 5 or you get nothing. So I think Yuri obviously got the right end of the stick in that altercation.
I'd be surprised if Yuri got nothing there. Yeah, it feels like you get the first, you're like, oh, there's the first. Spray's not as clean as you want. And by the time you're ready to transfer on to someone else, you're dead. Yeah, you're sort of like, wow, I fumbled that one a little bit.
Gonna have to relearn my spray real quick.
Furia back in the lead though after losing the pistol and the round prior.
Yeah, I'm liking this long aggression though from ZT. I feel like Furia, they've been able to take some control quite easily towards A with the lack of control from ZT, but they've got fairly deep positions here. We've got AVN kind of jiggling close, but will fall to the AWP of Fallen, something that they needed to be a little bit more prepped for. And Fallen not only sends the lurk smoke, but the molly towards window. Nice from Namana to drop into the site. We'll be able to get some early information, but in the confusion and rotations, we are seeing Furia now regaining space towards short. I'm liking the setup from ZT, very safe here towards middle, and with 3 players currently towards middle from Furia, could work out nicely, but looks as though they are going to be aggressing towards short. A lot of work now for Brute Monster.
He's going to back away towards Goose and play even more passively, but a lot of players that are coming up. He's going to have to pray they don't clear him.
Well, the problem is no one's taking contact, so it's fairly evident, and that's why Cello's clearing. The flash is good from Fallen. They've got a deep player in pit. Joffo now might just look to save, but yeah, it's a nice start from Furia,
isn't it? This is much better. I don't even care about the rounds. It's just from the eye test alone, you're looking at it and thinking, okay, Furia actually going as a unit. We're seeing brilliant flashbangs coming out. Like, for example, there, good execute, lots of flashbangs. And a lot of teams sort of negate to flash towards Goose, and we see Cello get pop flashed in, get a free kill, one of the easiest kills he's probably going to have all game. And yeah, Furia, they're feeling so much better here. Kyofo going to be under pressure as well. The jump spot has spotted out Montenegrin player and will be found by Fallen's ult.
I think as well, it's a great call from Fallen. He's got the awareness that ZT have to take control towards long because Furia have dominated in that regard. They've taken that space and made things really difficult for Zero Tenacity on the CT side, and that's why we see that 3-man tunnels play. Furia, it's a perfect kind of round from them. It's a great call from Fallen. Obviously finding the opener as well, drawing those rotations across, and without that information just off the back of the molly and the smoke from Fallen, Zero Tenacity, they're forced to gamble already, Charlie. We're 6 rounds in, but Zero Tenacity, they feel very uncomfortable. They're constantly going for these quick rotations because Furia, 9 times out of 10, they don't really throw in a fake. They kind of send, you know, everyone out, usually playing a little bit as a pack. But yeah, I really like it from Furia. Taking control towards top tunnels, maneuvering their way back towards A. And yeah, the lack of contact made things quite evident of Brute Monster's positioning. But with only 2 players saving here for Zero Tenacity, we're not going to be seeing all too much of an investment. And this can allow Furia to find 5.
Yeah, I kind of want to see a little bit more space taken in certain positions for Zero Tenacity. If they don't spot anything towards tunnels early on, maybe have a couple of players taking that space, maybe one flanking all the way through to Eastbourne. Just a bit more information, because it feels like right now they are very left to hang out to dry. But look at this from Namana.
Yeah, I like it. We'll only be able to find 1, yeah. The thing is, both the M4s towards middle, I think is the right approach, wanting to try and take space. Obviously, we did see Simka, I believe, boosted up, holding towards tunnels, but sadly, couldn't really make his mark so far in this round. It's a 3-on-3 though. Certainly possible, and with okay. Really not aware of Simka peeking. I think Fallen towards top middle made him a little too comfortable. Keserato now towards long though, attempting to find. Still got Simka to deal with. We'll send out the Molotov, but Simka playing just behind. It might make this fight a little bit difficult here for Keserato now. We do see Fallen finding Brute Monster and Keserato backing away, and I like the change of position here for Keserato. Could have given things up.
This is a really good read right now from Simka. But Fury can easily slow it down. Fallen just hold him for now, but the question is going to be when do you decide to pull that trigger and go? It is now, and timing is brutal.
Yeah, that's the bomb. Keserato has to back away somehow. This round's been brought really close. Simka pushing up, and that's an altercation. That's a fight that Keserato's happy to take. Will be successful. And I think with the limited time there, Simka potentially just needs to back away. Keserato wasn't quick enough to catch him jumping up towards short. Keserato would have really struggled to try and identify where Simka's playing from. Unfortunate for Fallen to go down there, but with it just being the half buy around these 2 save weapons, Zero Tenacity, they've made it as costly as possible, really.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the calm of Simka there, how desperately he knew how important that round was to win. It wasn't a brilliant buy from Zero Tenacity. He's 10-4, and they still haven't really been able to make much of the kills he has found. And that's been quite an issue for Zero Tenacity. No one's really that second star around him. Whereas Furia, their kills are very even. A lot more split between the side. It feels like all that, I was going to say it initially, but then the round became a bit more chaotic. So many of the kills we've seen from Furia are really nice trading. They're really good flash assists. Something like that. We're seeing a lot of this from Furia, which is a lot more structured of a team than we used to see. Well, we've got maybe Art pushing through a smoke, finding a great time in, getting a double off of that. Something like that. Yeah, I'm really liking what we're seeing from Furia right now. It feels a lot more structured, and it's working out a lot better than what we've seen in the past.
And as I mentioned, it's Brute Monster who's going to be the difference maker, and certainly not making much of a difference as he's only found 1 kill. And he's had the AWP a couple times, but the double AWP is in play for ZT. Understandably. Feel like Dust 2's a map where the double AWP on the CT side is somewhat of the norm, and we can even see it being brought out on the T side as well. So the fact that Zero Tenacity have that to work with gives them a strong chance. I think, I've completely forgotten.
I think it was Furia.
Or maybe it was, no, it was Gun 5, I think, on Dust. Is that gun 5
I'm
game
gonna
against?
fact check, but yeah, we got to
Oh,
watch
Simka!
a bit of a norm, but yeah, nice few kills there, and this is a lot more of what Zero Tenacity needed. Starting to take a bit of a lead and a dominant victory. Much, much better. Finally, another round on the board since those first two.
Brilliant from Simka here, though. The fact he finds 2 is incredible. And Brute Monster takes down Fallen. And Brute Monster all out for the second time and will secure a couple. A real kind of confidence booster. But Zero Tenacity by no means are out of this. And the fact that that previous round was drawn so close, it means if ZT can win this one, it's going to keep their finances, their opponent's finances, very tough. I'm loving the aggressive push out from Cello. They are still going to need to deal with Simka. Simka's been incredible so far, and we'll find the first, searching for the second. Damage dealt. Miss Nade is devastating. Keserato surely to fall there, and with the molly landing on Simka, he's going to have to drop another smoke to back away. Teammates not too close towards, and they're so aware of Simka's positioning, but the problem is the smokes making things a little tough for them to take him down, as Simka's still searching. Kai gonna push through, and Simka not spotted, but Simka still fine. So much damage, plenty of kills. It's delayed so much as well for these rotations. And although a 3-on-3, ZT have looked fairly good.
Yeah, Simka's done God's work there towards long, really. In the grand scheme of things, just could very easily have been found for nothing, but finds a couple, brings Keserato down to 10 HP, forces him here on the AWP.
And look how much util Furia have used just to try and find Simka. They've got a flash and 2 mollies remaining. With the smoke landing towards CT, we are just going to be seeing Furia creep close, because Zero Tenacity yet with any information. And that's why Namana having a little bit of a look towards middle. Brute Monster finally now, they've got the intel that it is going to be this A play. Bomb needs to go down soon, but Brute Monster can in fact spot behind. They know that no one's towards Goose, attempting to take down the plant, dealing some damage, but yet to eliminate. And Fallen's trapped here, he can't really move at all. Ooh, Yuri has just spotted the AWP, and Brute Monster util coming over now. 2 AWPs on a retake, certainly the weaponry isn't too favoured. It is these final 2 AWPs, they're really going to struggle. They've got to deal with Keserato towards long as well. Jumping no-scope attempt from Namana.
Yeah,
will go down.
Being connected at all. The only shot really connected there was Brute Monster's 16 damage AWP shot through the box. But other than that, Furia, they stabilised despite the initial long play not looking as clean as it could have. They keep it slow, they keep it patient, and they manage to at least salvage a 3-on-3 out of it.
I think when you look at it, we always talk about the AWP being, you know, high risk, high reward, and usually we're talking about the financial aspect, but the retake's just so tough that I think Fallen does such a good job, has so much discipline there. Time and time again, you'll see a player look for a jiggle, look for a fight, but Fallen just sitting strong, no need to peek at all, would have given up a pick and made things tough, but yeah, Furia, they've taken 6 so far. Dust is slightly T-sided since its reintroduction, but I think that's kind of not the true kind of story of it.
Grenades here.
Middle. I would have expected them to deal a lot more damage, though.
No, he can get Cello down to being headshot from one bullet from those M4s, and Fallen obviously softened up quite considerably, so it's not as much as it could have been, but
Love the boost.
certainly a decent amount. Nice find from Simka, and there's that headshot.
But Simka's 15 and 6, Charlie.
Yeah, but and you look at it, and we've only seen 1 round since the first 2 from Zero Tenacity. Simka's been putting up a real lights out performance here, but the fact that we're not really seeing Zero Tenacity find too many rounds behind it could be their undoing.
Don't get me wrong, Charlie. Simka is an impressive player. You know, puts up somewhat consistent results, but he's definitely not the star of Zero Tenacity.
No, he's normally, that consistent factor in their team. I mean, we've watched him for, we've watched this team pretty much since the iteration, haven't we? And, and yeah, he always has had a lot of impact moments, but this feels like every kill's impactful, but he's getting a ton of them. Really nice clean hit towards 8. Furia. Kyofo, the only player that can deny anything, needs a stellar flashbang, but is being held. And Guy does find it. Namana next up. Finds the first. All on Yuri. Gets found from Namana. AVN chimes in just before. And Zero Tenacity will find round number 4.
Yes, it was kind of nice that from Kyofo and Namana. It wasn't a bait and switch, but the fact that Kyofo swings, gets the information, finds nothing. I think Yuri's so prepared for that secondary player to be swinging straight away, but the fact there's that little bit of a delay, that's what kind of makes Yuri reanalyze. Okay, well, if there was 2 here, they would have swung by now already. And you see him backing off, and in doing so, it just makes that fight that much harder. And obviously, we would have seen a crunch onto Yuri. Not gonna be an easy one. Kyofo had a bit of a tough time so far, though, right? 2 and 8.
Yeah, not been the most easy game from him, but we'll see if he can find anything in this round. AVN, nice positioning, great util damage, and he's really getting shut down here. Just the USP though. Brewmonster rotates in, gets found before AVN. AVN will fall here. This is when things can actually get a bit chaotic.
Yeah, Molotov as well. Simka could have pushed forward, but opts against it. I think is the right decision. They've got a late flank in Namana. The problem for Furia here, limited utility.
No, that's what they're doing now. Yet. Slowing it down to try to retrieve some util.
It's just a 1 flash now, and with the smokes fading, they've kind of lost their opportunity to plant. Namana going to be coming through in the back lines, and that's why we're hitting the steps towards window. They're just sending utility, trying to divert the attention away, and this is where Namana's going to be swinging.
Oh, that was Fallen! Finds Namana in the back line. The spray transfers were good enough, and Fallen steals a way around. Brad, I mentioned the fact that Brewmonster goes down before AVN is basically giving them 2 kills. AVN was a dead man walking in the back of their bomb site. 1 bullet from death. Here it is. Brewmonster goes down. AVN just 1 bullet from death, and we see this 4 on 2, maybe even 5 on 2 at one point, but really crumble from Zero Tenacity.
Yeah, I feel like Namana in the back lines, we've all been there, right? Just a miss sprays in those kind of big moments. It's devastating from Namana, but it's giving Furia 7. Final round, obviously, of the half. Namana playing close with an X7. Oh, Jello needs to get his weapon out, but AK out in time. Nice headshot onto Namana. But yeah, somehow Furia still a way around. I think it was a 2v5 there at one point. But so tough. Zero Tenacity going to be devastated with that one.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that that would have very likely meant we're going into the half 6-6 really does change sort of the perspective of map number 1. Because we're going to see Furia 8-4. Nice, clean final round there of the half, but they wouldn't have had any money.
I think as well, when you look at it, Charlie, Zero Tenacity won the pistol as well. They got a 2-for-1 off the pistol. For the remaining gun rounds, only able to find 2. Obviously, probably should have found a 3rd because Namana in the back lines just needed to take down Fallen. But yeah, it was a tough one there. And the fact it's gained Furia 8, this is where things are going to be quite scary for ZT, because a pistol round conversion, a force by loss from ZT, we're looking at 11-4, and that's where it's potentially already too far gone. But I've been very impressed with Furia. I feel like their T side has been very well organised and orchestrated, and I think this is a different side to Furia that, don't get me wrong, we're expecting them to perform well, but as you mentioned, they haven't really been kind of putting up those big rounds, those big numbers as we are expecting from this tier 1 side.
Yeah, nice bait in there from Brewmonster, just jumping around after being fully blinded. AVN with a couple to his name. Kyofo will grab one back and looking for more, but really difficult position. Does have Serato nearby, but AVN on for the ace here. Everything he's touched has turned to gold, and Zero Tenacity might have their hero in this one.
Necessary pistol for ZT. We mentioned how Furia can quite comfortably take the lead. AVN is hungry for that ace. Realising that Serato now very low. It will be Namana to steal it away, in fact. But yeah, great pistol there from ZT. As you mentioned, I feel like Brewmonster, although he didn't get a kill, was such an important factor for Zero Tenacity. Get to see that again, I believe. Oh, never mind. He's already dead at this point. But yeah, nice rounds from AVN. Nice kills. And I think sometimes a 4K on the pistol can really give you a lot of confidence. Because AVN usually is, you know, don't want to be too harsh about it, usually the bottom performing player for this ET side. He's got the worst rating by far. Brute Monster. I love the attempt at the jumping scout. A lot of players going to be pushing up towards middle.
Yeah, Brute Monster will finally get his kill. Yuri grabs one before going down. There you go. I was going to say, just in case, you never know. Could find something, but at least Zero Tenacity will bring it a bit closer. But you got to think, if they win that pistol, but they also don't lose that 5-on-2, we probably see Zero Tenacity in the lead.
Charlie, we saw this from Furia about, well, a couple weeks back now. They lose the pistol, they eco, and then they half buy. And it's just to ensure that they can get the AWP on Fallen as quick as possible. They can make the round costly. It's the type of play that I don't mind, but it makes no sense. I don't know how. Yeah, I don't know how better to describe it. But they found the opener here. They've taken a fair bit of space towards middle, and the fact
just to understand why it doesn't make sense. Obviously, if you force in the second round rather than eco in, you can look to really bounce back, instantly reset the loss bonus to Zero Tenacity, and sort of get rewarded even though you lose the pistol. But instead, you allow Zero Tenacity to get a better buyout with time, because obviously they lost one player, they can get more util, things like that. It is always an interesting call. A couple of teams did used to do it.
This isn't a guaranteed round, though. Look how deep Kai is. He can find Kyofo quite comfortably. We've got low HP on Namana. They're all going to be creeping out.
It's all going to be on timing.
Oh, they've spotted him!
Yeah. It really feels like the worst position to take up, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, MP9 at range. Not the greatest.
But in a really narrow chokehold, making your way down. Looking towards top mid, where, like you said, even at range, Furia, they're opting to play towards B. It's not going to be the right kill, but they may as well at least give this one a bit of a go.
Something I have to say, Charlie, and something that will come with experience for Kai as an individual, is he gets a great amount of space towards middle, but doesn't really clear anything. Stays around towards, towards top mid, but you've got that timing and you have to take it. And I think something that will come with experience where, you know, in comparison to a player like Kai, when you get that deep space, you've got to look for a pick. You've got to kind of take some control, because we saw the CTs very hesitant with their rotations because they didn't really have any information. And don't get me wrong, you've got a great position there, but when you're not on an M4, when you're not on an AWP, it's going to be tough to win those, you know, long range fights with that MP9. And I think if he just pushes even deeper towards long doors, he finds Kyofo for free, it puts them in that 3v3, he gets a Galil, he's got all the space towards A, and that's where, you know, ZT gonna have to heavily reevaluate, because going up short, they've got a player to deal with in long, they can't split through middle because they've got no information, and ZT might have really struggled there, because we see the opener found by Fallen, we see, you know, another pick coming through for Zero Tenacity here, they've got this space towards A, but there's still a player top mid to deal with. Yeah. I think it's unfortunate for Kai. It's just one of those scenarios where he's a bit hesitant because he doesn't want to lose them the round, I guess. But in doing so, that was the real crux of it.
Zero Tenacity have bought it back here. Furia, it always felt like they had a solid CT side, but the T side always was what I questioned a little bit. Going into finishing the first half with a really good looking T side though. Feels like they should have done enough, but closer affair as we are seeing currently, all about obviously in the hands of Fallen, but also Brute Monster.
But this is the reason for that kind of weaker investment, for the double half buy. If this doesn't come through for Furia, I'm going to be calling them fools, because the Force in the second, we would have had an exact same buy. We would have had an AWP on Fallen. We would have had M4s and, well, M4s on everyone. Yet there could have been the chance for that reset, as you mentioned before. So if this round doesn't come through, not only have Furia given rounds away to ZT, but they are going to be looking a little foolish. Bit of a mid-split here. And Shallow has impressed so far. He's been good in these kind of scenarios, but the problem is Where's the help? Where's the rotations when the Mana pushes through? Cello can upgrade to that AK. There's plenty of players behind the smoke. The fact Cello finds another is brilliant. Simka with a necessary trade. We've now got Kai on the back of the bomb site. Fallen needing to rotate through, needing to help his teammate out. And Kai will spot out Brute Monster. Takes the fight on AVN towards tunnels. Fallen can find AVN on the cross, and that's why he is sticking here towards the left-hand side. There is no need for him to peek. We have got a nade on K Serato. Not going to be an easy bomb site to retake, though. So many unknowns.
Yeah, this is a notoriously difficult bomb site to retake, and unless something comes through very quickly for Furia, this round's done.
Oh, AVN. Not disciplined enough, but yeah. No kit. Furia just going to have to give this one up. Yuri finds K Serato. Yuri finds K Serato. Yuri finds Brute Monster.
Yeah, what's he doing finding K Serato?
I don't know. Team kills are possible. ZT find another, though. And I'm going to say it. Furia looking foolish here. It's going to be another half buy for them, surely. K Serato can, in fact, invest, and Yuri and Cello can get out M4s. But this is why we're seeing a pause. This is why we're seeing this moment from Furia where they're going to be scratching their heads.
Yeah, I mean, Tenacity, they've got the chance to come back into this one now. And really tried to take the lead since very early on. Simka, though, I mean, 20 and 10. He's looking electric.
Yeah, very impressive. Very, very impressive performance. And we talk about the Zero Tenacity lineup being Namana and Brute Monster, and if one of them isn't performing, it's always a tough game. Neither of them are performing. Yet, it's still 8-8. Zero Tenacity have gone on a bit of a streak. We mentioned how Furia looking pretty good on their T side, yet to post around here on their CT side. And they've had a couple investments now. We will be seeing a bit of a half buy once again. There is plenty of rifles in play. We've got the AWP, 2 M4s, and obviously a 5.7 and an MP9.
I mean, yeah, this is the interesting thing for Furia. The last 2 games that we have seen from them recently, it really has been their T side that they very much struggled with. 38.1% win rate versus the almost 62 on their CT side. So their CT side is fine, it's strong. But as of now, we're not seeing anything. It's a pretty good looking half buy though. So they will be able to get buyout in the next. You don't get a lot better than this. As this partial investment, Kai looks like he's catching a very good timing towards mid.
And he's taking it though, he's not just sitting towards tunnels. Will finally strike and just backs away. That's a perfect read. That's all you need to do when you're on that weakest weapon. And now Cello, if he can find one here, it'd be brilliant. A little too quick. Could have waited for both to push out, but still, it's a 1-for-1 for weak weapons. Now we're going to be seeing this aggression from both short and long. Kyofo, Molly towards Car. We'll be clearing out the angle. 3 of the CTs currently within CT. Kai now looking to re-aggress towards short, but Namana very much ready for it. The fact he's on 34 points of health, though, not perfect, and Kai will find. We are just going to be seeing a bit of a back away. K Serato through the smoke, finding Brute Monster. This isn't the full investment. We didn't have a perfect buy for Furia, but Kyofo giving up his position. Can find 2, though. 1v4. Possible round now for Kyofo with the low HP of Yuri. Fallen, all that needs to be found, but he's gone towards long. Yuri now needs to create enough pressure. And Kyofo can just sit on the back of the bomb side. Kyofo's now aware. He's going to take this control towards short.
If Fallen can make his way up to this bomb site, he's got a Molotov, he's got an AWP. And that could be enough. If Fallen goes down, it's all on Yuri, but the jump from Kyofo gives it away. Ace clutch almost possible.
Why has he jumped there? There's no reason, there's no need. He wants to get the information, but why give up a pick? He can just back away, wait for the tap of the bomb. Oh, Kyofo. Probably one of the best rounds we would have seen from him, you know, in his whole career, yet kind of giving it away with the jump across. Yuri's 1 HP.
Yeah, just anything needed to connect on damn.
Potentially he's feeling that pressure in that moment, realising, oh, I've got to gain some information, I've got to find something.
Just look how easy he makes that for Yuri. He can't fight back, and he just jumps, saying, you don't even need to play a headshot angle. Here's my whole body.
Yeah, so unnecessary. Obviously, it was a big clutch there. Furia, they brought things pretty dominantly. It was a 4 versus 1. The fact that it brought to 1v1 is impressive from Kyofo, but the round should have gone the way of Furia, and it does. I love that push there. We see Namana and Simka doubling up. Okay, Serato could fall to Simka as well. Simka, 22 and 11 here, Charlie. We're in round number 18, and we can see Kai go down, but once again, pushes through, takes some control. Still man advantage and plenty of health to work with, and now we've got Yuri. The winner of the previous clutch, he's going to hear the steps of Brute Monster. Spots the head of him as well. Molotov coming through. Yuri somewhat struggling here. That is the bomb on Brute Monster. Can be planted comfortably though. With Kyofo currently towards long. Just going to be a save here for Furia as well.
Yeah, one of the few saving graces actually for Kyofo sort of getting 4 of those 5 kills is that it was the half buy in the previous round from Furia, and they would have actually grown a ton of money if they won that cleanly. But the fact that pretty much everyone went down apart from Yuri restricted how much cash they actually have. See, Fallen's got a lot of money, the rest of the team not so much. So that was at least one silver lining for Kyofo, but
oh, Simka, he could find Yuri saving the AWP. Oh! Yuri's so low. Similar statement for Kyofo, though.
Furia lucky to be able to save these 2 weapons across, and we can see this buy come out now thanks to it.
Yeah, both Kai and Yuri can drop across. Gives Furia a big opportunity here, but Zero Tenacity has been a very impressive T-side, it has to be said. You know, the one round that they lost, it came down to a 1 HP 1v1 that surely, you know, probably should have gone their way as well. I think ZT, they've looked really good, and even with the fact that they only found 4 rounds on their CT side, 2 of which coming off the back of the pistol, we're looking at a 9-9 scoreline. We're looking at Furia full investing. If they lose this, ZT will find 10, potentially 11 as a half buy comes through. ZT have still got the chance to take things here on Dust, even after that kind of really weak CT side.
Yeah, I mean, certainly you look at things on the other side. Furia win this round, money's very little for Zero Tenacity. It's only now 1.4k loss bonus. Sure, Simka and Brute Monster can buy. The rest of the team not so much. But Brute Monster finding the early kill, taking down his counterpart in Fallen. I mean, Brute Monster's had a pretty bad game, I think it's fair to say. 8 and 13. He's one of those players that we always mention a lot of the time. It feels like he can be quite slow to really get going in a map sometimes, in a series sometimes even. But it feels like he always, at some point, arrives at that destination.
Charlie, something I have to mention here is Furia, although they've only played 2 games on Dust, it is their CT side which is their strong point. They've got a 61.9% win rate on it. It's their T side that's so weak.
About 3 rounds ago, but okay. We'll reiterate it. We'll let them know, because it is important to talk about. But yeah, I mean, that's what I was saying. I think Furia's T sides, especially in the games we've intentionally got to watch pretty much all the Furia games recently. Yeah. But yeah, it feels like their T sides have a lot of issues to them. And
maybe
that's honestly maybe, but I think that's the issue, isn't it? Is when we look at it and say, yeah, Furia, it's their T size that's the problem, but they're now no longer finding anything on their CT feels very off. A really great start again for Zero Tenacity. So much damage dealt. Shallow 1 bullet from death. Namana gonna be. I thought he was going to be spearheading this, but just going to be left here as a bit of a lurk towards short. Kyofo finding Cello as well. Kai, the hero that has to be. And such an important kill from Brute Monster, because he's minimal health. Kai could have found all 3 there.
Yeah, Namana, just a contingency plan towards short. We'll find Yuri. And now ZT, they're going to be taking the lead. As mentioned before, Furia on a weaker investment. I don't know if we... Just before the replays, I don't know if we just saw an AWP be invested. But if it has been, I think Furia, they're kind of going for it. Yeah, Cello, he's got an AWP in hand. You would usually assume that's going to be on Fallen, but Cello, with that AWP, does find Brute Monster. 4 on 4 here. Fallen's taken some space towards lower tunnels, but we are going to be seeing two players creeping their way out now. Is being held by Cello, but doesn't stop Namana, not bothered by it in the slightest. Fallen, he's got a deep position here. Simka's very ready for it, and Simka finds again. When will this man stop?
Yeah, I mean, not very soon is what Tenacity are going to be hoping here. Because it's once again going to have to be another save attempt for Furia, but you can see the lack of armor there on Cello really being impactful when it does get taken down towards a B push. All it takes is a couple of bullets and that aim is completely thrown off. I do want to see a bit of a hunt here from Zero Tenacity. It's been a close game in terms of how many players have survived, and fully understandable if Zero Tenacity don't want to throw too much away, don't want to ruin their finances, but taking out this AWP is basically feels like taking out everything. A pretty big chance for Furia to have any impact in the next.
I really like what we see from Furia. They've gone for a half fight, they've picked up a hero AWP, they're looking to save it, but now things are going to be really tough. They know exactly where these final two players are. Well, at least they're going to have a very strong read, because Kai not usually going to be on his own, and Namana will find the hunt comes through. AWP can be saved as well. Zero Tenacity with 3 survivors, money on the rise, and no AWP can be brought out here for Furia unless they want to risk a glass cannon.
Yeah, they risked it in this round. Saw Cello get the early trade. And he looked towards B, but just nice clean kill from Namana.
Great awareness from
Cello's
Simka.
So squishy as well, with no armor. Fred, Zero Tenacity 2 rounds away.
Well, this is the full investment. We're going to have a weak buy from Furia if they lose the next. Players will be sitting on around 3.4k plus kill reward, and this is do or die now for Furia. This is their map selection. We mentioned how the veto's not perfect for Furia, and how sometimes you will be picking a map like Dust, where when your opponents ban your best, but it's not as though Zero Tenacity weren't in a similar position. Anubis, their best map insta gone from Furia's ban. So I feel like Zero Tenacity, the fact they can take things... Oh, Kyofo, that is incredible.
Yeah, very aware, but more the fact how quick he was with it.
I think Yuri was just so confused. Look, I'm playing a major off angle. I've never played it before. How is he ready for it? Fallen and Kai, though, do a good job to bring things back in their favour. Still a half HP Kyofo to find, and with Simka slowly creeping his way up short. Fallen going to drop the Molotov now, and Simka forced back. Tick of the Molly will indicate his position, and Mana has to go huge here. He's got the AWP in hand. We are going to be seeing a boost on top of the bomb site. And the bomb deep towards T-spawn still with 30 seconds remaining. Namana needing to creep closer now. Oh, smoke coming through! Okay. Missed shots from Fallen. Namana has been given a chance. Kai now pushing behind, does find one. Kai's really stepped up, but sadly can't find Kyofo, so still a 2-on-2. AWP can be retrieved. We have seen Serato. So much damage dealt.
No idea how Kyofo lived from those bullets. He's already so low and somehow just about clings onto life again. Flashbang comes over, but we're in a 2v2 post plot, and you mentioned this feels like do or die for Furia. This feels so important for the Brazilian side.
They've got the health advantage, but no utility to take down Kyofo. Cello slowly going to be creeping closer. Simka playing towards ramp as well. They've gained some information. Oh, the jumping shot from Cello will fall to Simka, though. Now, Serato, 1 versus 1. Needs to find Simka, but time slowly ticking. He drops into CT. He does have a kit, but whether there's enough time is the question.
Spotted nicely for him. We'll have it. About 1.5 seconds to spare. Simka, another clutch loss, actually. He's not had a great success rate in this one.
It's been tough.
But so close for Zero Tenacity to find map point there. That could have been so instrumental. Still could be. A lot of damage obviously dealt.
I think in that moment, though, we see Fallen with the missed shots. That probably should have been a kill. We see Kai not only find one, but potentially should have secured the second. Yuri going down in the kind of most unfortunate of ways, yet still Furia win the round. It's kind of what we spoke about in the pre-game. Furia, they're not looking great, they're not looking perfect, yet they're still finding success They're still holding on to life here on Dust 2. Oh, Namana.
Serato, the molly. Won't be enough. Nade at his feet though will. Namana does finish off Serato. An early kill goes the way of Furia.
We have got the AWP on Cello holding towards B, but with the smoke coming through, potentially they need to switch the angles. They've got man advantage, they've got util advantage, but Yuri towards long could find plenty here.
Yeah, I do love this position. Don't see it that often anymore, but we get to see how impactful it is. Simka, if he clears this, he is unbelievable. Does jiggle it.
Definitely
Monster
not ready.
gets the trade though, important trade, because Yuri could have had the option to back off, wanted to stay for a little longer, slight reposition.
Fallen's got an MP9, cannot really sit on the back of the bomb site, needs to take some control towards short. Once again, it's Namana on this lurk.
But Fred, if Furia lose this round, they kind of have to save. Because it's no longer going to be 3.4k, you can't get your FAMASs. It's going to be even less. The loss bonus has gone down, AVN finds Kai.
We are seeing Fallen attempt. But yeah, I think it will be this save attempt. I think Zero Tenacity now looking for a hunt already. Namana, we're seeing him look quite heavily towards short. But it's a round where Cello, until now, hasn't really had that much impact. And the orb, we talk about its real importance on a map like Dust 2. Fallen had a bit of a tough game. It seems like Cello might be kind of orbing over him, potentially just based on the real positions of the two. But Zero Tenacity, they find 12. And we mentioned how dominant Nuke should be for ZT. This is so scary for Furia.
Yeah, it could be another just disappointing CCT event from these guys. Another event where best they can get is quarterfinals, and these guys should be achieving so much more, but still an opportunity here. Weapons can be dropped over from Cello and Fallen. We can see a buyout. Fury are going to need to bring us to overtime if there's any chance to take their own map pick. Things looked so brilliant early on here, Fred, didn't they? 8-4 at the halftime switch,
yep.
But since then we've seen 2 rounds from Furia.
Yeah, 2 out of the last 10. Not enough. Furia, if they do lose things here on Dust, it's going to be devastated, because after that first half, you know, we were singing their praises quite heavily. Their T side looked just so well organised. Yet here on the CT side, far from it.
What could be the final round here of Dust? Furia gonna need to deny that happening. Gonna need to find something, but a lot more tunnels pressure being applied in this one from Zero Tenacity.
Yeah, potentially going to be drawing some rotations already. We've got Serato here. He's got a fair bit of utility, but I think that smoke, bit of a bait there. We see Kai kind of questioning, oh, is there a gap for me to work with? But Brute Monster's just holding. Simka finds 5 on 3 now. Serato takes down AVN. It's a big kill. Cello as well chiming in. 3 on 3, and we've got the player in CT. Yuri pushing through, needing to take a risk, hoping he's not being held. And with Brute Monster jumping out of the smoke, we will see Serato secure a second.
It's gone. Yeah, really good start from Zero Tenacity there, but made very simple mistakes. Players quite split. It feels like they needed more players towards tunnels, because all you need to do is kill Serato and you've probably won that round.
Yeah, it would have been really tough for a retake.
But Yuri pushing through that smoke feels really orchestrated. He needs to find something. They're 2 kills down. But no one watching it, no one even really considering it, so Yuri pushes on through. Finds a really important double.
I think as well a really big kill was Cello finding Namana. Namana's constantly been on these late lurks towards short, and the fact that Cello takes him down, it just makes Zero Tenacity, it's so tough for ZT.
Well, this could be a final round of regulation, but it feels like Furia have done enough now to bring us to overtime, unless these weaker weapons can do so.
I think already the fact that ZT have come back and at least got themselves to OT, impressive, but clear to see, even when Furia have been outmatched, even when it's brought down to a 3 versus 5, players like Yuri can step up massively. And once again, we've got this double AWP in play for Furia. Fallen just tucked away here. With the smoke coming through, I would have thought he's going to go for a bit of a pot shot. Oh, lovely flick onto Namana, softening him up for these M4s. Brute Monster, though, on the scout will find Cello. It's double AWP towards middle. And one smoke can deny anything. Now it's Keserato who has to go huge, currently towards short. We're currently holding short, in fact. Oh, great nade. Yeah, really important. Namana potentially just to spearhead the attack. How many HE grenades does Keserato have?
That might have won the round alone. So much damage dealt to these players. Namana taken out of the round. I mean, Kyofo, who wasn't far off being full HP a second ago.
There's another nade on Kai. And there we go. Kai finds Kyofo, gonna send the pop flash so he can peek on out, and surely Furia take things here. Brute Monster Scout will connect. Brought into a 2 versus 3, but it's all on Brute Monster. A heroic round needed. Spots one on the edge, but no tag required, and Keserato again. Keserato finds 4, but what were those nades?
Yeah, insane. Really incredible stuff. Feels like Furia had a really good read of what was going to happen there, and I mean, look how much damage this did initially. Finding the mana early, so much to Kyofo. That one taking him out. Didn't even need to see them. Some of these players didn't see them. Kyofo didn't see anyone that round. Didn't need to. I was questioning, are we going to have a flash towards mid? After we saw Brute Monster find Cello, if we saw a flash towards mid there, I think Fallen goes down.
And they would have known that it was Fallen on the AWP as well. They would have had a slight guess, so when they take down Cello on the AWP, they should have that read. Speaking of the big green, Brute Monster searching for a bit of an early pick here. We could see some nades sent towards long doors, but have just opted for the smoke. So Furia, they've got some control here towards long. And it leaves Kai in a bit of a tough spot, as rotations will be very slow. So we see this pick come through from ZT towards B. Can be a little tough. What is going on here?
Boost failed might actually be key. I think it actually is. There is a nasty, but they weren't actually out of tunnels yet. And by the time the boost finally came through, they were already there. They were already holding.
So well prepared. Smoke coming through will allow players to jump up if anyone's holding towards the right-hand side of mid, but Cello just tucked here with Yuri to potentially take that contact away. And Keserato now, he's on the AWP, he's got a lot to do. Namana's not being quiet about this, so the players in CT will have this information. But we've got a man advantage here for Zero Tenacity. And Keserato still not prepared for this A play. But it is Keserato to find one. Cello chiming in to take down AVN, gives them that man advantage. And Yuri now searching as he progresses through his own smoke. Bomb to be planted. Cannot be taken down. Yuri can get himself so close to ramp. Has opted against it currently. Still man advantage for Furia. No utility remaining for Zero Tenacity. And there's going to be a bit of a fight. A bit of a brutal one towards short. Slight gap in the smoke. Brute Monster still hasn't spotted Yuri. As the smoke fades, Brute Monster misses the shot. Keserato's AWP will take him down. And Kai, great double there in short. Furia, important round.
Went very wrong in the post plant for Zero Tenacity. The fact that Brute Monster misses the shot onto Keserato, who had nades out, is massive. Sure, he probably would have got traded by Yuri regardless, but at least it keeps it as a 2-on-2 if he does go down. But Kai finding a double here feels like it should never happen.
It's another round though, Charlie, where Zero Tenacity, they find openers and still not able to close it out.
Yeah, and they have looked like the better team.
Something to mention, obviously, both teams more successful on their T sides, finding 8 out of the 12 on the T side. So we're kind of expecting, if you find 2 on the CT portion of OT, you're primed for success with 2/3 of all rounds being secured here on the T side.
I mean, you have to think Zero Tenacity, they probably should have ended the half 6-6 on their CT side. Oh! We saw them end up losing that 5-on-2, but Cello will eventually get shut down, but 2 kills in the lower tunnels. No one to support him, no one to help him. Fallen understands the read. I can push this. Serato as well. Maybe Furia finally found their spark.
Yeah, and Yuri's aggression towards long, aware that Brute Monster's so fixated on middle. With Furia finding that, already, they've looked good. Money for ZT isn't perfect. We can still see an AWP on Brute Monster as players like Kyofo, like Simka, can drop weaponry across. Yeah, it's
great double.
It's just one of those rounds where the trade should have come through and it would have been very different. And it's quite similar to what we saw from Kai in that retake of the last. But Cello, he's been very consistent throughout the whole of this series. I feel like just finding a couple kills here and there. I'll be honest, it seems as though when he's had the AWP in play, that's when he's gone a little quiet. But still going to be keeping the AK in hand currently.
Would be a really great round for Furia to go on to take.
It'll give them that real edge. It'll give them 3 opportunities to close things out here. Kai is so deep towards middle. I love the aggression. Finally, he's panning out for him.
Look how much space this takes, though. This makes Zero Tenacity feel so claustrophobic. Fallen has to go huge if this push comes through, which it should do.
Yeah, but with the smoke now, ZT, they cannot respect it. They've got to go through, and the flashes are good, but Fallen not blinded. Fallen surely to find. Got one so far. Should have secured the second, and we'll go down to Simka, and Simka doubles down. It's a 3-on-3. We mentioned how tough the B-bomb site can be on the retake, and that's why Cello's sending all this utility, and now it's all a ruse. It's all to delay for Kai. Makes his way through the back lines, and Kai doubles, somehow securing 2. It's all on Kyofo. We've seen him in the clutches, a little unfortunate. 1v3 gone 1v2, trying to maneuver his way through the smokes, eliminating Cello, but it is Yuri in the back lines once again. But Kyofo's so aware. He's planting reverse. Kyofo going to be swinging in at a moment's notice. Yuri, thankfully not continuing his spray. Very patient there. The second he misses the first shot, takes a bit of a breather, closes it out. All 3 found here for Furia on that CT side, and surely to take things in overtime.
Fred, the biggest difference here in this game, and I'm convinced this is 100% why Zero Tenacity probably will go on to lose this, it's been the clutches.
Yeah.
The amount of 1v1s that we've seen Zero Tenacity lose, or at least rounds bought to be 1v1, is insane. I think it's been at least 6. And that's a really stark statistic to have when you lose pretty much all of them. I don't know if they've won any of them yet. We've seen Simka lose like 4 of them on his own. Kyofo lose a couple. It's been rough. You think those rounds go the way of Zero Tenacity? A completely different ballpark.
I think as well, Kai's been very key in these kind of late round retakes. It's another moment where he's somehow found 2. Fallen taking down Brute Monster, potentially the final round of map number 1, with it being Furia's map pick and the kind of the strength of Nuke from Zero Tenacity. Furia, we've mentioned how necessary it is for them to take. Does a lot of damage dealt from the HE grenade. Kyofo nearly caught out with the jump spot, but Serato finding the mana. Serato doubling down. Great nade to find, and Kyofo doubles. He brings another 1v4 to a 1v2. Going to drop the Molotov on the bomb site, potentially going to be delaying the plant. And with both players been chipped away, oh, Kyofo's got information on both of them. Cello has just, in fact, stepped. It's another clutch, though, and we've seen what ZT have shown in previous clutches.
Yeah, not being so quiet anymore from Kyofo. Does still have this Molotov now. I'm going to throw that towards back site. Oh, and this part is clear. Flashbang so good though. Cello tagged down but not eliminated, and Furia will take map number 1. They folded heavily, but overtime was flawless.
Yeah, impressive stuff from Furia to kind of rekindle. Although he's got a little bit of a timing as, oh, not fully been cleared. We'll find Simka, but takes a lot of damage for it. Something to mention, Charlie. It was Furia that generally lost the opening duel. They lost the opening fight. But time and time again, we saw it a lot from Kai. We saw it a couple times from Cello. It's the fact that they can go 2 for 1 in their next altercation. And that's what made a lot of these rounds possible. But in the pistol here, they've got the opener. Although a low HP Serato, he's trying to have some more impact. But Kai falling as well. Yuri dropped down to 2 HP. This round's been completely flipped. And Fallen now needs to help out his teammates, but too busy with utility in hand. The bomb, in fact, is down towards the lower side. And Cello is aware of this. Cello gets to double. They're aware that Namana is still towards the top side. Kyofo's been dropped down towards vent as well. We could see a stick of the bomb while the smoke is down, but in fact, the smoke not covering. Now Fallen needs to rotate his way through, but Cello secures his third. Cello, pretty much the one-man team in this one. Needs to tap the bomb, needs for a reason for Kyofo to swing. Kyofo not fully aware, but the shots of the Julies. Bit of a running race here, but with Cello not too fast. Kyofo can evade. Cello finds the kill, but the round still goes the way of Zero Tenacity. And that is another pistol. They are 3 for 3 on the pistols.
Yeah, I mean, Cello, excellent stuff for the Julies, but no one else did anything. Not at all. Fallen had a lot of opportunities to try to support his team there, but just constantly every play he made felt like the wrong one. And Cello with a great double early on to keep this as a 2-on-2. Finds another way. We even had it favoured towards Furia for a time, but Fallen coming in the back line's not able to find Kyofo. Allows Tenacity to clinch round number 1.
Well, I think when we see Yuri low HP on the back of the bomb site, you understand why Fallen wants to send out a flash, but realistically, if he just swings, they can take down the mana, and that's where it's a real possible round. And if that came through, we would have, you know, and we still saw Cello dominating on the lower side, Furia take that pistol round every day of the week. But Force Buy has come through. We have got an M4 on Cello as well, due to the fact he found 4 with the Julies. Already Yuri dropped down here with a 5-7 towards Secret, and it's a possible round for Furia to find. They need to find an opener soon. As the dust settles and the util drains, that's where this round could be a little tough. Namana flashed off the angle. They're going to be aware there's a player down towards Secret. And Namana so fast here, looking for this pick. Keserato and Yuri surely to get this kill. And they do. Fallen here towards ramp. Zero Tenacity. Their only avenue for success is towards the A-bomb site. Now, Kai just going to be waiting. Contact's been made from heaven. Cello finds, and Kai towards second vent. Oh, they're not peeking him. They're not holding him. Why is Avian so unaware? And surely this round to go the way. Furia finds it. Weaponry can be upgraded. Brilliant from Yuri to secure 2. Cello and Kai both finding picks on the A-bomb site, making things possible. But how is Kai overlooked there after he gets that first?
Yeah, really clean round victory as well. It's not just the fact that Furia do go on to take the round, it's how dominantly they go on to actually do it. Retrieving all these weapons, upgraded, nice cost-effective buy for them. And Zero Tenacity just going to be playing with pistols.
And this is where Furia can bounce back after that pistol round loss. You know, it is just pistols. It's 4 deagles and a tech. Utility very limited. No head armor on anyone either, so Fallen's Khalil gonna be pretty primed here. But with the opener found from Zero Tenacity, they've taken control towards ramp. We need to see Fallen find Namana. Namana back turned. Ooh. Gonna see a knife kill from Fallen? Nah, no chance in it. Maybe too early in the series. Too early in map number 2. Bomb goes down towards B, so Zero Tenacity, they've got the clock on their side now.
Yeah, this could be a devastating setup as well that we are seeing here.
3 towards double doors, and the doors open. Cello will find a pick. Keserato rotating down, damage dealt. Trades come through, and it's brought to a 1-on-1. Yuri progresses his way out. Decon Kyofo, we've seen him in the clutches before, but we will see him victorious here. We mentioned how these clutches, time and time again, would go the way of Furia, but not in this one. Great response from ZT on the pistols. It looked good initially.
But look, it's just it's one-on-one trades. That's all it ever was. It was never anything more for Furia, and that's the issue. And when you look at it like that, Zero Tenacity have more players there. And if they're only ever getting one before getting traded, eventually it's going to go the way of ZT. And it brings you to that one-on-one. This time, though, this game, we're finally seeing Zero Tenacity start to win some of them.
I think when you look at it as well, it's the fact that Fallen could have swung with Keserato. The double swing there would have been perfect. Oh, and Zero Tenacity, they make the worst decision possible. It's weak weaponry, it's lack of utility, and they opt for a fast hit towards A. That's where the weak weapons are always going to be.
What a crazy game.
We've got 5.7s, we've got MP9s, we've got little util, and ZT just think, well, let's just rush out onto the A-bomb site. They had every advantage going their way. No one kind of playing slow though, and I love a force buy war, don't we, Charlie?
Oh, we really do. But I mean, you're looking at the difference in terms of the ace up top in this round from Furia in comparison to their first force buy. It's really different. They had 2 players towards A early in the prior. This one, they have 4. Great release 3 and 1 towards main, just spamming, getting a lot of damage through the smoke, just taking away so much pressure. So what a wild and early portion of this game it has, and the AK from Namana's quickly being eliminated. Not going to be easy to retake, and you see Kai not going to make the same mistake he did in the last, playing a lot more passively towards ramp, still yet to find anything, but it's the first kill on the board, and we'll just back away from there. 5-on-2, Zero Tenacity don't look like they're going to be taking this one.
Yeah, the reposition from Kai is really key. Just allows him to find that pick and back away. No trade possible. AVN attempting to find one on the back of the bomb site. So close, but Cello somehow dodging. And the nade. Oh, AVN. Dropped down to 10 HP. 5-on-2 here, and Furia should be victorious in this force buy war, and it will allow them to extend their lead.
Should be able to go on to take 4 off of the back of this.
And if Fury can keep all 5 alive, that's where finances are on the rise.
Fallen going to be player. Fight both of them. First kill does go the way of Zero Tenacity. But wants to tag down 45 points of health. But a 1 versus 4 still going to be a difficult round with only 25 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, going to be looking for something towards outside, aware that players could be creeping close. And it seems as though Brute Monster not really going to be giving this one a go. Just going to be saving? It's an interesting decision. It's going to be an eco from ZT in the next, and the fact that Brute Monster's not making any money off the back of this round...
He might not even be able to save. Hey, Serato spots him out. There's 1 second on the clock. He's starting to get found now. Fury jumping through and does get found. Brute Monster, nothing.
$600 to his name.
Yeah, it's going to make round number 7 even more difficult now for Zero Tenacity.
Quite luckily, though, I feel like on the side of ZT, we've seen a couple players wielding the MAC-10 in these moments. So I think maybe Brute Monster, we dropped over an AK. We could be the one wielding the MAC, in fact. But Furia, it's a big round for them to win. 3 survivors as well, so they will be making money. Orb on Fallen here. Finally with his favoured weapon. Sadly, Brute Monster, we won't be seeing that AWP for quite some time. And I feel like as well, on the T side of Nuke, I feel like AWP has sometimes steered clear of it.
Yeah, just because you steer clear of it doesn't mean you want to play MAC-10, though. Or a Deagle, perhaps. Yeah, it's not going to be great, and this could be a nice clean one for Furia. It's all on the mana, kept his way out, spotted and eliminated. So Furia will find their 4th. And all 5 survive him. Like you mentioned, going to be growing their economy a bit. Only had 3 in the last, but I think it's worth sort of Yuri's death to take down Brute Monster, who I think is playing a scout in this one. He can be a bit of a demon with a scout. But obviously not brilliant.
Yeah, it's not the AWP, though.
Where's actually changed it for the MAC-10, sold it.
Maybe we're going to be seeing something fast here. Zero Tenacity, I think maybe ramp could be their port of call. Smokes towards outside. Namana attempting, but with the spam and the utility, he's not all too confident. Kyofo on top of Silo, attempting to help, but double ramp setup here is brilliant. Nade coming through. Oh, Kai been flashed in, but the flash in fact blinds him. Doesn't peek at the right time, and Simka will find. Molotov has come through. This nade could be big. Simka dropped down to 24 points of health, but we still have the opening kill go the way of ZT. The timing on Kai's peak couldn't really be worse. Both blinded.
Well, it looked great, just tanking that whole flashbang really was a bit of an issue, because that would have been it. Fury opening kill.
The boost up to heaven.
Simka gets it.
The boost up to heaven's big hit. Will allow Serato and Fallen to play quite heavily towards Squeaky. AVN, timing will be everything, as I believe Cello having a little bit of a look towards outside as well. And Furia, they're going to really struggle on this retake towards A. I've just got one flashbang, and that's why we're seeing this kind of deep angle being held from Fallen. This is brilliant. He's taking control here with the AWP. He goes down, it'll be tough, but Fallen will find. Kyofo dies to Yuri, and this aggression out of heart been dealt with comfortably. It's all on Namana, currently creeping outside. Has been spotted. Might be able to find Yuri, but there's no need for Yuri to peek. If Namana wants this kill, he will lose the round for it. And he can't even find the pick onto Yuri. So Furia, against the investment, still success. 3 players surviving. And I think the most important kill there was when Fallen pushes close towards Hut. So key. Yuri finding Kyofo dropping down as well was brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, you see a lot of teams do it now, especially if you have the AWP towards ramp. You see Fallen throws this nade after that Molotov and leaves ramp. No one goes ramp for the rest of the round there. They leave that area of the map very exposed, because you know if there's an AWP holding from anywhere, it feels like you're just going into a shooting gallery, you're giving away a lot of picks. You gamble that the T's aren't going to go there. It's a map, obviously we know how heavy the rotations are and how important they really are on the CT side of Nuke, so we just see Furia leave that portion of the map, which a lot of teams do. So they're 3 players towards A. The A set was very strong.
It has to be said, Charlie, the gambles, the correct calls from Fallen have been brilliant so far. Yuri will get 2 as they attempt to cross down towards Secret already. We've got players down. Asimka cannot find one dropping into vent. Serato ready for the swing. And it is a pretty comfortable round for Furia. They keep 5 alive as well. We spoke about the finances being so key on the CT side and how it can be broken so easily, but I doubt we're going to see it as Furia sitting pretty on the finances. 2 players peeking before the smokes, and Yuri. Great double there. But ZT, this is their map pick. We mentioned how strong they've looked on Nuke in the past. Not been brilliant here.
Yeah, obviously we mentioned, I think maybe we didn't do enough credit to Furia on Nuke. Obviously still very early doors. I mean, actually, they do actually have a better T side than CT side in the last 3 months for Nuke, but we do also need to take into consideration some of the teams that they have lost to.
Yeah, definitely.
Teams are like Heroic, teams like Liquid. I mean, they bested Mals on it. They have beaten some very good teams on it. They have lost some very good teams on it. So,
being the world number 1, yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, exactly. So, still, it is going to be interesting, but right now, Furia are looking solid, but still enough routes to show Tenacity to bring this back.
I think as well, when we look at how close Dust was, and when we look at how, for ZT, all it took, 1 clutch and they could have been the victors on Dust, I think we expected a little bit more to be shown. Obviously, there's still plenty of CS to be seen on Nuke. We've still got the whole of Zero Tenacity CT side, but if Furia can continue to dominate, there might not be that many rounds for ZT to kind of make things work on their CT side. But I love it from Serato, getting very close to the action. Sadly, Kyofo can only find 1 as he progresses out of Squeaky, and Yuri now drops a smoke to try and defend this kind of really good position here. He's deep towards Secret, but oh, he's pushing through the smoke. I love it. Yuri can deny the plant. Simka can fall. Oh, great spray transfer from Yuri. Need to find Namana.
Sticking the rounds 1.
I love it from Namana.
Not even questioning it just yet, though.
I've got a smoke for Yuri. Fallen. Just needing to hold here, but he's looking towards heaven. Oh, it will be Fallen to find. Namana close to kind of starting the spray and potentially taking down Yuri. But look what we're seeing here from both Cello and Yuri. It's a similar performance to what we saw from Simka, but there's 2 of them. They're looking dangerous. They're looking really strong here on Nuke.
Yeah, I mean, Brew Monster actually quite lucky to even find 1 before going down there. Because as soon as we see Yuri push through the smoke, we know he's gone.
But it all comes from that kind of gamble. Yuri's low HP. He knows that once this bomb goes down, it's not going to be the easiest of retakes. And kind of got a little bit lucky with Namana being towards outside. And Namana, he's the bright spark for this CT side. He's the kind of key contender in nearly every game for Zero Tenacity. He's currently 1-9, Charlie.
Yeah. Yeah, it is difficult. You look at Brute Monster, hasn't been able to be on the AWP just yet. Money hasn't been good enough for it. Seen obviously a lot of issues early doors with it. But Furia, they're going to need to keep this up because we are going to be aware that Zero Tenacity's CT side is definitely going to be very strong. Can't let this slip. It's a good start from now. You know, I mean, look at how much damage has been dealt here. Good spray from Yuri, who already know how good they have been. Even more damage dealt.
Can't make his way down. Namana is trapped now towards red box. And it just depends how much Furia kind of hold and hunt for him. But we've got Namana and Zimka very much out of things here. Yuri will find one. We see the dink from Brute Monster, in fact, onto AVN. So that's going to deal even more damage. And Fallen now going to send the smoke towards double doors. Wants to get posted up on the angle. Oh, Fallen timing is devastating. Finally, they get the trade onto Simka. Health still not perfect. But Keserato and Kai, not really going to have a chance of things.
Fallen had a nade there as well. Fallen could have just naded double door, and I think he probably actually finds both. Yeah, very risky trying to look towards control. Zero Tenacity will find their third round. Furia a bit unlucky with the amount of damage they dealt, but only able to convert 2 of the kills.
I think what we're seeing here, though, from Zero Tenacity can be somewhat reminiscent to what we saw on Dust. It's the fact that they are finding rounds, but not strung together, and that's been the real problem. We've spoken about how the finances for Brute Monster and the finances for Zero Tenacity have been so rough that he hasn't been able to bring out the orb, and with Kai saving towards ramp, denies Brute Monster having the chance with the big green. We might see a whole half of... you know what? We're going to see a whole half of CS without Brute Monster being able to purchase the orb. He might be able to save it if they're victorious here, but it's been such a tough game. And when one of your star players is unable to bring out his premium weapon for the whole of one half, it's always a tough one to see.
Very much so. Yuri, he's loved playing this position towards outside. Quite a lot, in fact, and get very aggressive. Force out the mana. Will he be allowed to back away is going to be the big question, though. Oh, it doesn't need to if he finds the kill. Gets the information on Kyoff and allows Keserato to come in for the trade. Advantage Furia. Simka could still catch a time in. That's pushed out, steps are being made, and it's spotted from Cello on the rafters. And Brute Monster in the 1 versus 3 clutch now.
Yeah, Yuri's really impressed me towards outside. Currently 16 and 5, but I think what we see in that round is not only does he find one and there's no trade, he's somehow able to secure a second. Trade eventually comes through from Gyotho, but we see, I believe, Keserato and Main just instantly be able to get that kill. And yeah, I think what we've seen from Furia on their CT side has been absolutely brilliant. And already, look, it's 8-3 currently. It's not going to be the best of buys as well from ZT. Potentially Mac 10s, Tech 9s, Deagles, maybe some Galils and AKs. But look, it's pretty weak, and this is what they're trying to battle with to secure 4. But Furia set themselves up perfectly in this second half to close out the series 2-0.
Keserato, nice easy one there. Gifted.
And look, it's a 5-on-3 already, Charlie. We're 20 seconds into the round, and Zero Tenacity not only outmanned, they don't have the weaponry, they don't have the numbers, they don't have a chance. 1 versus 5 for Kyofo.
I don't know if he'll expect this angle this late into the round as well, and even if he does, doesn't matter. Kai does find a Fury at 9-3 at the halftime switch after, well, I think what you have to say was a far from perfect Dust 2 from the Brazilian side. Stark contrast here, really turned up sort of everything. Everyone's playing really well, the holds are exceptional, the rotations are really key. And you've got to think, the rounds that Zero Tenacity have actually won have come from clutches.
Yeah. Yeah, I think as well. We were talking about Furia's T-side on Dust being absolutely incredible, and I feel like it was Zero Tenacity's best chance to win things on Nuke is they'd have to have, you know, a good T side of themselves, because I think the way that Furia played, the style of play, although maybe favoring a little bit more towards a map like Dust, I was really impressed with their T side. I think they're going to be bringing something similar here, but look, Zero Tenacity, they're set up to find both pistols of both games. Oh, Cello hits his head on the rafter. We are going to be seeing the bomb go down. Ooh, Cello and Fallen combined. It's brought to a 2 versus 3, but I say that as Fallen will go down. Simka securing his second. But that's 4 pistol rounds, all of them been found now from ZT.
Yeah, had a bit of a force by war in the first half. It'll be interesting to see if we have anything of the sort here. Really crucial pistol round going the way of Zero Tenacity. They desperately did need that.
Charlie, when you look at it though, with the changes to the bomb plant bonus, we're not going to be seeing, you know, it's not like we can see 5 Galils in play for Furia. The fact there's only 2 kills, 1 on Cello, 1 on Fallen, it's not going to be that good of a buy. You can see some Mac 10s, maybe Galils without head armor, but I think with a bomb plant now, it's clear that Furia potentially questioning, look, if we force here, we lose, we give ZT 6, is that really worth the risk? We can take an eco, we can find, you know, we can allow our opponents to find 5, and then we can bring out the rifles once again. But no, we are seeing Furia go for the force.
Yeah, they want to do it here and now.
I don't really know.
Nice amount of util brought out, to be fair.
I still don't know with the recent changes on paper whether this is the best decision. Because if you look at the weaponry, if you look at the difference, it's not close at all. Util's fairly similar, yet there's 4 rifles and an MP9. We've got 2 Galils and 3 Tech 9s.
It is a pretty one-sided difference, but we can see how it does go, because it always feels like these weaker weapons can do such a good job. Might just see event shift here.
Yeah, I do like it. We're going to be about timing whether AVN does decide, but Keserato making some noise here. We are going to be seeing the remaining teams make their way towards Secret. And we've got 5 players here from Furia on the lower side. It's a perfect call. They will need to deal with Kyofo. He's made himself known.
This is
but
good.
I like
Keserato is a bait. He's the only one who's made any noise for now. So we're not seeing any over-rotations. But now the smoke comes down. A lot of damage is being dealt to Brute Monster. Kyofo does find one. One will be planted soon.
Yeah, it was smart from Kyofo to kind of back away there. He seemed as though he was a little bit drawn in initially. Brute Monster's taking quite a lot of damage. And although they've got numbers, it's not going to be the easiest of retakes. I like the weapon switch, though. They're going to send Brute Monster in first. He can smoke towards either single or double. It has used it in control, in fact. Keserato's so close here. And if any contact can be made from the site, they will take so much aggression away. And with Kai finding 2, Keserato taking 1 down, Keserato swinging with attack, Furia find the round, and Furia, they get themselves 10. It's now going to be weak weapons in play for Zero Tenacity. But if they opt to force and lose, they give Furia 10. Or they give Furia 10, they give Furia 12.
Yeah, I mean they're kind of going to need to. It's going to kind of need to be this investment. Things are looking really good for Furia on these force buys. Brilliant call. I love what they did there. Keserato making so much noise down towards the lower site. The rest of the guys very silent about it.
It was like a double fake. They used Keserato as a little bit as a, oh, I'm going to make loads of noise so you over-rotate, but actually it's an A hit. When in reality, it's just all
But it's common to see one player down towards the lower side. So it just keeps Zero Tenacity thinking, okay, there's nothing out of the norm here. Whereas if maybe everyone was fully silent, they might be like, okay, they've done smokes outside. They could have technically got vent. They're probably all on the lower side. I love the call. I think it's really genius. It's important round for Furia. Important round for Zero Tenacity. Furia win this one. The game is all but confirmed for Zero Tenacity. They take this. We've still got a bit more action to be had.
Yeah, the problem here for ZT is they got no information at all. Already got Brute Monster down towards Secret. Kyofo's just holding very deep outside, awaiting for these flanks. But, yeah, Zero Tenacity now going to find out what Furia's intentions are, and Kai going to be peeking towards heaven. We've got the Nova here for Simka, but he will fall. He was boosted up atop Hut. We will see Fallen. And it's done, Charlie. It is over, surely. Unless if somehow AVN... Yeah, it's going to be 11 found for Furia. 12 expected with an eco. But I wonder if ZT are already in that kind of mentality. Look, we've got to force until the end. We've got to somehow dig ourselves out of the rut that they're in. Because ZT win both pistols, yet only they've found 4 rounds.
Yeah, I mean, that speaks volumes. It really does. I mean, not able to convert any of the pistols as well has been a real big issue for them.
I think when you take into account Brute Monster not being allowed to have the orb once in the whole of the T side, it is a big difference. It really is. And ZT, 8 rounds in a row going to be needed, unless if they can somehow win this with the USPs. But the way things are going currently, Yuri, he's found 2 so far. Shallow will find 3 though. 19 and 6, 20 and 8. And the problem is, when Zero Tenacity had Simca on this performance, the rest of the guys weren't putting up numbers. Yet for the rest of the Furia players, we've got K-Serato 11 and 5, Kai's 13 and 6, Fallen 11 and 9. Everyone is stepping up for Furia.
Yeah, just 1 round away now. Weapons finally in play, but surprise, surprise, no AWP for Brute Monster.
As an AWPer, this has got to be your worst nightmare. This is a playoff game. This is quarterfinals, hoping to progress to the next. He hasn't had 1 round starting off with the AWP. Bit of an awkward fight towards outside. Shallow gets 1, but so does Namana. AVN falling though. Brings it to a 3-on-3. Kai's in a good position. He will spot the drop, but Brute Monster finding, and that is the bomb.
Such a massive kill to find. Shallow just holding someone over peaks, over stage. But look at, yeah, Kyofo in the back lines. Finds 1. K-Serato should be able to get the trade. Does so. Now 1 versus 2 from him. To win the game, to eliminate Zero Tenacity.
He's got a minute on the clock. The problem is for K-Serato, there's so many unknowns. Doesn't know where these final 2 players are. Going to be peeking. Oh, lovely tap from K-Serato. Brings it to the 1-on-1. And Simca, we've mentioned him in the 1v1s. We've mentioned in the clutches Simca's struggles. And K-Serato will win it. A 1 versus 3 there. Furia successful on their opponent's map pick. And by God, it was dominant. 13-4 scoreline with both pistols found from ZT. They only won 2